can we use our gifts, our spiritual gifts, our human gifts, our everything together to fully support and activate each other. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Serena, and today I am sharing with you 3 of the biggest challenges twin flames will come across in the twin flame journey. Watch this video. Alright guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here today. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the little notification bell so you're notified every time we come out with a new video. If my face is new to you, welcome to the channel. My name is Serena, and I am one half of Life After Union. We make these weekly videos to help you on your twin flame journey, your ascension journey, and also your conscious relationship. So today we are sharing a very interesting topic. It's going to be all about the 3 of the biggest challenges that you may come across on the twin flame journey. Now, I want to make a disclaimer. Not all twin flames are going to face the exact same challenges. So just know that these challenges are very generalized because you're going to experience them in probably one shape or form, and you'll have to identify in your life where that shows up, right? Because it might be different for different twin flames. So the first thing that we are going to address are, of course, limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are something that all twin flames are going to come up across because the very nature of the twin flame journey is a spiritual awakening journey. And the idea of a spiritual awakening is to take you from 3D matrix to 5D heaven on earth, right? So the idea here about the limiting beliefs is we are deprogramming and reprogramming everything in the subconscious mind that isn't supportive of where you want to go in your life. And you might already be on this journey. Like, the twin flame journey does not necessarily mark the beginning of this journey. Like, for me, I've been on this journey since well before my twin flame journey. At least, 5 to 10 years prior to my twin flame journey. So you might already be on this journey, and your twin flame is the catalyst to this spiritual awakening for yourself. Now, one of the biggest limiting beliefs that twin flames will come across in their journey, and I'm going to share with you, especially at the end, a limiting belief or a challenge that both twin flames will have with each other. So stick around to the end. But essentially, one of the biggest limiting beliefs is the idea that they can actually have the relationship of their dreams. So one example of this is you might have learned as a young child that you had to self-abandon. Okay, so you might have had narcissistic parents or abusive or neglectful parents. Twin flames oftentimes choose very challenging circumstances to be born into. Very, abusive or neglectful or just really hard life circumstances in order to shed that karma and to create a whole new blueprint for your life. And part of that is learning at a young age all of these negative limiting beliefs. And so many of you had to self-abandon as a child in order to stay safe or in order to connect with your primary caregiver, whether that's your mother or your father. And now, with that being said, you may have learned that in order to receive love, you have to earn it, or you have to be a different version of yourself with different people, or you might feel that you have to care for others before you get your needs met, or you have to make sure everybody else is okay, right? So there's a very strong limiting belief with many twin flames that says, I actually can't have this relationship. This relationship doesn't even exist. And so when you meet your twin flame, you meet this person that sparks all of this within yourself, you realize, oh my God, the caliber of relationship that I've always dreamt of does actually exist. Like, it resonates with my soul and the deepest desires of my heart. Yet my mind still can't comprehend. And this is where that doubt comes in, you guys. When you doubt that you're a twin flame, you doubt that this relationship is true. This is why. So what do we do about this? What do we do when we have these strong limiting beliefs or these strong programs that are telling us this isn't possible? you're crazy, you can't have this, this doesn't exist, nobody would ever love you that way, you have to change in order to be loved, right? What do we do when all of this comes up? What you have to start doing, this is where reparenting and inner child work comes in. So especially on the twin flame journey, if you want to know more about my twin flame path to awakening, this is my group program where we dive so deep into all of this. Everything we're going to talk about in this video, we dive so deep into this. And this is a small container, a group where you can be truly held, truly supported, truly loved and nourished on your journey. You can have me, that power of somebody who is truly here to support you and coach you and guide you inward every step of the way until you become that version of yourself that is so magnetic, that is so empowered, that you are the conscious creator of your reality and of your twin flame journey. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you can apply to work with us in the group down below. Just know that we are only taking 4 spots, 4 applications, and some of the spots are already filled. So we're very limited on spots, but this is an incredible opportunity. This is the most transformative thing I've even seen available for twin flames. So just know that this is an incredibly powerful transformational tool for your disposal. So check the link down below if you'd like to sign up for that. But going back into the journey, this is what twin flames came here to do, is to shed these limiting beliefs, to dive deep into the inner child work, the reparenting. And so if you're on this journey and you're wondering, okay, what do I do? You want to look to your early relationships and ask yourself questions like, what did I learn about love from my mother? What did I learn about love from my father? Did I feel that I was worthy of their love unconditionally? How did they treat me? Like, you want to dive into those early memories about love, about your self-worth, and that is going to show you so much about your limiting beliefs. And it's also probably, if your twin flame isn't treating you so nicely, it's probably also going to show you a lot about what you allow in other people, how you allow other people to treat you, or if you put other people on a pedestal and expect that they're better than you, so they're allowed to do whatever they want. So it's going to be different for every twin flame, but just know when you dive into those inner child worlds and those reparenting worlds, you want to start asking yourself those questions, and you want to start saying, how can I show up for myself as somebody who truly loves themselves? What would I do if I truly loved myself? And that will show you where you are versus where you want to go, right? You'll see that discrepancy in asking yourself these questions. Now, moving into the second. So one of the biggest challenges twin flames will also have on the twin flame journey is a receiving wound, or a lack of self-worth, self-love, whatever you want to call it. These receiving wounds, again, they come in all shapes and sizes, but especially on the twin flame journey, they are going to color every area of your life. So if you're not seeing it already, this is a lot of times where you're going to start seeing it in the dark night of the soul. So you may have things come crashing down around you. And this is because, again, those old programs, those limiting beliefs are starting to crumble because they're not valid for where you are going. They're not valid for where you are moving forward to. Like, they served you up until a point in your life, and now you've gone beyond that point, and now you need new programs, you need new belief systems in order to create what you want to create in the world. And your twin flame will spark that in you. Thank you, twin flame. They'll spark that in you, and whether you want to look at it or not, it's going to be, it's going to be thrown in your face. And a lot of times that's through the dark night of the soul. That's through realizing what receiving wounds you have. So for many of you, it's going to look like you're working on money issues. You've got zero finances, you've got zero money coming in, you lost your job, you're trying to start a new business that's more aligned with your heart and soul, all of these things, right? Like, this is where so much of our receiving wounds come from, because we learned, again, in our 3D blueprints that we weren't worthy of following our heart, following our passion. We had to, sacrifice family, or we had to sacrifice ourselves in order to make money, right? So look, if you have any receiving wound, look at money. Money is a big one. Now, if you have a receiving wound in relationship, that will also start coming up. You'll start seeing where your friends are maybe not showing up for you the way that they should. Maybe your old friends that you've had for a long time you're starting to see them for who they really are, or you're starting to evolve past where they are. This is not anything negative towards anybody else. It's just the nature of the journey, right? There's no judgment here. But this is where some of those relationships might start falling away. You might get people that are testing and pushing your boundaries, okay? Because if you have a receiving wound, it's likely that you are used to holding it all up on your own. You're not used to asking for help. You're used to being the one that's, helping everybody else, showing up for everybody else. And this is telling you now that it's time to change that. It's time to actually be willing and be open to receiving. Now, the problem here is that many of us learned it's not safe to receive. I'll give you an example. Whenever my parents did something for me as a child, then later on, 2-3 weeks later, they would be like, oh, well, I did all this for you, and now you're not willing to do anything for me, or you're not willing to unload the dishwasher, or you forgot to do your laundry or your chores, or whatever it was, right? So you learned that it wasn't safe to receive because you never got anything just for being. Again, this is about earning love. You had to earn the love. You weren't just given the love. I'll give you another example from my childhood. I always felt okay asking for help when I was either sick or injured. And so as a kid, subconsciously, I would get sick or injured a lot and then be okay receiving love from my family because it was the only time that I actually felt special. So then, that really imprinted how I showed up in relationships and what I felt like I was worthy of. I didn't feel like I was worthy of asking for what I wanted when I was okay. Yet when I was sick, I could ask all day long, can you bring me this? Can you do this for me? Can you do this? And it was okay. So if you have a receiving wound and you're looking to change this, you have to look at many different areas of your life, and likely in the physical reality, you're going to see it playing out in different ways, in a mini, like, multifaceted way. But this receiving wound for you is going to be something that you want to ask yourself the questions of, where did I learn this? Where did I learn my values and my beliefs and my worthiness of how I receive money? Where did I learn that it was or wasn't okay to ask for something that I needed in my relationships? And those are going to show you where you have wounds around receiving and where you can do a bit of work. Now, the first thing that you can do to help heal this is you have to look at where you aren't giving yourself that, right? So again, always on this journey, it's about giving something to yourself first. And then because you've elevated that vibration, because you've said it, that I'm worthy of this and I'm going to prove that I'm worthy of it by giving it to myself, other people, your reality is going to begin to match that frequency. So whatever it is that you're not getting from the external world, start giving that to yourself. Whether it's, if nobody's helping you, start helping yourself, right? If you lost your job and you're not getting any money, start giving that to yourself, right? Start financially supporting yourself or investing in yourself. This is a time to level up, right? So you want to invest in yourself. You want to show up as that version of yourself that you want to become. Now, the last and final one is a very interesting one, because this is something that you'll maybe have to overcome between the two of you. So both of the previous two challenges in the twin flame journey are kind of solo in a way. There's something you can really work on within yourself. Now, receiving wounds also have to do with other people, so there is integration that would come with your twin flame with that one. But the last one is something that you're going to come up with with your twin flame, and that is communication. So what's really interesting on the twin flame journey is, yes, we are the same soul. Yes, we come from the same creator. Yes, we are on the same divine mission, but at the end of the day, we are two different people in two different human bodies that process and experience the world differently. So with that comes different perspectives. And oftentimes, twin flames have the hardest time with communication with each other because there is a block around the way that we see things or the way that we experience reality and the way that we communicate that with each other. So, especially because there's this a built-in history with your twin flame, right? You share the same soul. There's a built-in history. You feel very comfortable with them. And because it's very telepathic, you might feel like, why would there be communication issues? There's telepathy. We feel so close and connected. But the further and further you go down that rabbit hole, the further and further you're going to realize that communication is what is causing most of the triggering in your relationship. Whether it's somebody not being careful with how they use their words, whether it's somebody not willing to look at the other person's perspective and claim it as valid, whether it's the fact that you might be from two very different ages. So if you have a big age gap, there's going to naturally be a communication barrier built in. Whether it's that you have different language barriers and different cultural barriers, there's going to be a communication gap, okay? So naturally, because you're two different human bodies, you're two different human brains, you're going to experience and perceive and interact with the world very differently. And for many twin flames, this can be incredibly triggering, okay? It can be incredibly triggering because twin flames feel like this person should just know me. This person should just get me. And again, this is where that twin flame doubt comes in, because they're like, wait, why are we having such big communication issues? Why is there such a problem with this? Are they not my twin flame because of this, right? They're supposed to just know me. They're supposed to get me. There's supposed to be telepathy. Yet we're having all of these issues communicating with each other, and I can't understand why. So the reason why is because there needs to be a built-in honoring of the fact that you are two different people, okay? And that both of your perspectives make up the whole picture, okay? You are whole and complete on your own. Yes, that is a spiritual truth. However, you also are a limited human, right? You have strengths, you have weaknesses. That's just the human truth, okay, at the end of the day. Now, your twin flame is going to complement those strengths and weaknesses, but you have to be willing to admit that your human is limited. Your human is incomplete, okay? And that means that this other person has things that you do not have. You need to humble yourself here. I know it's not easy, but you need to humble yourself and realize that my twin flame does have things that I don't have. They do have life experiences and perspectives and knowledge and wisdom and embodiments that I don't have. They have access to codes that I haven't unlocked yet. I have access to codes that they haven't unlocked yet. So instead of seeing the competition between you two and seeing you're right, I'm wrong, we have to say, how can we work together? How can we use our gifts, our spiritual gifts, our human gifts, our everything together to fully support and activate each other, okay? So one of the big things that you can do if you're having communication issues with your twin is a mindset shift. This means shifting the idea from blame and shame and guilt and competition and ego, you're right, I'm wrong, to we are doing this together, we are working together. How can we support each other and activate each other, right? How can we see our triggers as activations? How can we see our wounds as opportunities to heal? Okay, so a lot of this miscommunication comes with a perspective shift to see things less as problems to be solved and more as opportunities to deepen your relationship and become closer together. Now, that being said, communication takes practice. Okay, again, let's not spiritually bypass and say that my twin flame should just get me, or they should change, or, it's all going to be okay because in the 5D we love each other so much. Let's get grounded for a minute and let's remember that we are also humans, which means that we also abide by time, okay? So we use time. That means it takes repetition. It takes time for us to change our programs. It takes practice. It takes somebody calling us out on our BS. It takes effort. It takes real true effort, and it takes a desire to want to change, right? And want to be better. So in these real practical scenarios where there is communication issues, it takes two people that both want to come together, both want to heal, both want to level up, and both want to get to know each other better and become as close as they can be in order to solve those problems. And you'll find that if one twin flame is resistant and the other is not, still there is going to be no resolution. You have to both come together at the end of the day and say, look, we want this, we've chosen this, and this is how we're going to move forward together as a pair. And that in and of itself, the ability to say that, is going to heal so many of the receiving wounds that you may have. Also, is the act of saying, I'm doing this with you, not just by myself anymore. That is amazing for a receiving wound. So like I said before, you guys, if you need more support on this, I hope you found this video helpful, first off. But if you need more support on this, check the links for Twin Flame Path to Awakening, because that really is going to be your best avenue for really diving into deep healing. You can absolutely join our community, but it is certainly a little bit more fun, a little bit more surface level, and a little bit more spread out, where Twin Flame Path to Awakening, our group experience, is like a condensed version of like catalyzing and healing and digging deep and just magical goodness. So we love you guys so much. Thank you for being here today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you have questions, put them down below. Let me know if this video helped you, and we'll see you soon. Lots of love. Bye.